Hey guys, I'm Dimension Jumper. Today I'll be reviewing the Teal Mask, which is the first DLC for Pokémon Scarlet and Violet, which was released back on the 13th of September of this year. Now, the main plot of this part of the DLC is that you are on a school trip to this place outside of the Paldea region, and it's basically just learning about the culture there and just learning about some of the stuff that happens there. I don't 100% remember the name of the place that you go to, but it has this. One of the things that it has is this story about this ogre and how you learn about how it stole these masks from these three Pokemon who are known as the Loyal Three. And throughout the course of the story for the Teal Mask, you learn that the ogre was a Pokemon and that it didn't steal the masks. The Loyal Three did, and because people thought that the Loyal Three had stolen them from the masks, had stolen 3 masks from the ogre Pokemon. They thought the ogre Pokemon was the one that stole them, and that the 3 Pokemon that got them were heroes, and they made a story out of it, as well as shrines and stuff like that. So that's the whole sort of thing. And in the Teal Mask, you meet these 2 siblings, and they're here to basically greet you in a sort of sense. And the younger one, Kieran, he is fascinated by the ogre Pokemon. He wants to meet it, and he's told by the people that, why are you liking the ogre Pokemon? That Pokemon stole masks from the Loyal Three, the Pokemon that the 3 Pokemon that saved us from this Pokemon generations ago. And you later find out about the truth, Kieran also knows about it. He also finds out. But it does the thing of, he pretends to go, but then he's like hidden behind like a wall or something, and so it's kind of like that sort of thing. And when it comes to the whole Loyal Three ogre story thing, part of the story is that the ogre had the ogre Pokemon had a friend, and they weren't really so because of what they look like, the people of the area that you're in didn't really accept them and stuff or something like that. So one of Kieran's ancestors made both of them a mask each, so that they could wear and be more accepted by the townspeople. And that's an interesting story because it takes two elemental stories, or two story elements. One of them being, don't judge a book by its cover, and sort of like covering up like your face, like to hide who you are, that sort of thing. So I like that element because we are told that, this Pokemon stole from other Pokemon, and it's the reason why we have these Pokemon today, like these 3 Pokemon that we respect and that we look up to in a sort of sense as a sort of safety Pokemon if anything happened. And when in actuality it's the opposite that's happened, and should probably be, because the ogre Pokemon found out about because the ogre Pokemon sort of found out that the 3 Pokemon stole masks from him and his friend, so he went and tried to retrieve them. But because of what happened, the townspeople are now afraid of it, and now with sort of not worship, but like sort of honor the 3 Pokemon, and then they eventually do get released, the 3 loyal Pokemon, and that will spell disaster for the region that you're in. And yeah, I think it's the new area that you're in is very cool. It's very interesting. I think it's very different. It's a lot smaller than Paldea, I would say. But it does have some of the same elements that the base game has. Like you can catch a variety of Pokemon. Some of them will have dens where they will terrestrialize, that sort of thing, into different types. But also, there's new Pokemon. There are Pokemon from previous generations that wasn't in the base game, and it's basically like the Isle of Armor and the Crown Tundra DLCs from Sword and Shield, where those two DLCs had their own stories, but also you can catch other Pokemon from other generations that wasn't in the base game of Sword and Shield, and that's really really cool because like now you can catch more Pokemon for your team or to have like at different type things like when they terrestrialize, that sort of thing. But this DLC also has the same similar thing with the base game when it comes to like graphics and stuff, because that you will see that some parts will like the closer you get, the more better it gets in quality. The further away, the quality will dip in a bit. For instance, there's a bit where you're at a festival, right? And you'll see different people with fans, and they'll just be waving them. When you're further away, it looks very very. It's kind of like slow and kind of just low quality, but when you get closer to them, they get better. And also, throughout my particular playthrough, some elements like buildings and some characters will just pop out out of nowhere, and yeah, it's just a lot. It's very noticeable for me because like I don't know, it could have happened with other people. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I've experienced. Where just you see certain assets just pop in out of frame, and yeah, it's similar with. It's basically the same thing with the original game or the base game, where you just see assets just popping in and out, low quality parts, just when you're further away from them and stuff like that. So yeah, and now it's time for some gameplay. So one of the things that's obviously new in the game or in the DLC, apart from the new Pokemon and the new area you can go in the game, is the costume. Now this is similar to the Isle of Armor DLC, where you could get, I believe, a dojo costume from one of the people in the Isle of Armor part, and yeah, and this new island, the island of where's the name? Well, anyway, it's like I would say smaller than Paldea, but it's got some similar elements. Like you've got these, you've got like the different dens and stuff for terrestrialization, and yeah, it's just so yeah. All you need to do is just one of the new things, or one of the new mini games you can do is this thing called Ogre Ousting, where it's just you and some of your friends have to do this. Have to collect these berries before certain Pokemon can get them, and you can do this all on whatever box art legendary you have. So I've got Corelladon, and so you've got these like sort of like box things, and you basically get to collect a certain amount of berries in time. And if you can see on the top right hand corner, you'll see not only the amount of berries that I've collected, but also a certain amount. So I can't. So once I've maxed out, I have to try and put them into their respective colored parts. And also I'm timed, so it's best if you have friends to do this. Especially with the hard stages, because I believe you can get like not harder. You can get like better rewards if you do it in a specific amount of time. And obviously, the more you do in the particular stage, the more berries you have to collect. So yeah, I have to find. Okay, there's 2 more here. Well, 3 more I can collect. Right, so it's all about just timing, where you're gonna go, that kind of thing. So it's berry there, berry there, berry there, and berry there. And sometimes when a Pokemon appears, you'll see like a like these skull things, and you have to like. You basically have to collect like the berries in time before the sort of Pokemon, and then going back to put in the berries. So yeah, so it's all about like optimization. It's kind of like it's different. It's very different, but like to me, it's like the Crash time trials from the Crash games. It kind of reminds me of that in a bit. So put them in here. There. Okay, I need 1 more grey and 1 more red. So, if you just saw, there are some Pokemon who will go for the berry. So it's always. There we go. 1 more. There we go. Cleared. So it's basically got to crash time trials. So yeah, like you have to optimize the stuff here and there. So yeah, and you'll get new records and stuff, and as well as some rewards. So like some stuff for your Pokemon to level up or to evolve, stuff like that. No, back, quit. So yeah, it's all about optimization, that mini game. There we go, collect some more stuff. Well, I'll give you some stuff like, depending on how you score. So now, yeah. So, the main story for this is, it's nice I guess, I do enjoy it. I do like how, yeah, it's nice. And you are given specific missions to do. So yeah, like I think now we have to collect them. I believe. So yeah, like what I do like is that I think I might talk about this a bit. Have they either talked about it in the review or going to in the later in the review, but I do like the whole story of this, like how the ogre is mistreated, like it's different to how it's how to so basically how it's like how I don't know how to put this, how it's misrepresented, there we go, how it's misrepresented by other people, well, by all the people throughout the generations. And yeah, even it kind of like with these, how, let's just call them no, not podiums. Shrines, I think? I don't know. There might be shrines, but like, I like how like the story tells how like the that the ogre was the one who stole everything, whereas the loyal 3 Pokemon, who we later find out to have be the ones causing all the trouble, were getting the praise. So yeah, and there are fun, nice battles. So you get to battle Kieran a couple of times. Like I think throughout it's like in every other battle. Story-based battle. You have to fight or battle one of your friends, that sort of thing. Yeah. Yeah, like with and I think when it comes to the DLC, like when it comes to getting from place to place, it's good to have your box art legendary be fully upgraded, like have everything in the game. So now I'm guessing we have to fight or battle them. So these Pokemon, the Ogre Pokemon is probably my favourite one, because it looks the coolest and looks more colourful. Whereas with the other, these 3 Pokemon, they're cool. I don't like their colour schemes. They feel too samey. They feel like they could have had a lot more. Like, I don't know. And now I'm guessing we have to fight each of them. And I think we have to catch them as well. I wonder if we can catch them. Can we catch them? We cannot. So yeah, so basically it's basically the same. Oh, that did a lot of damage. So it's basically the same as every like all the other battles in the game. And yeah, it could have been a bit. I mean, it's enjoyable. I mean, some Pokemon like Dodonzo, they can barely. They can fit on the screen. It's just depending on how you move the camera. Anyway, let's try order up. That might work. So yeah, I think it's basically the same thing as the game. So that's been it for the gameplay. Now time to go back to the review. So overall, the Teal Mask is an enjoyable bit of DLC. I mean, I think the story is interesting. I do enjoy the story quite a bit, because it takes you, across the island that you're on, and I do enjoy some of the character interactions here and there. The Pokemon, the new Pokemon that we see, that being the Ogre Pokemon and the Loyal 3 Pokemon, they are interesting designs. I think I enjoy the Ogre Pokemon probably more because it's like this sort of like green sort of color, like, and with the others, the Loyal 3, they're kind of like purpley pink in some areas. Like I think that they've got like pink stripes onto their faces, and they're sort of like a dark purple, and they feel very similar-ish. Whereas with the Ogre Pokemon, it's very green. It feels cool and awesome, and I do like its mask that it wears on its face. And yeah, I would say overall the Teal Mask is enjoyable. It has some enjoyable moments, but it does have some of the same low quality aspects here and there that it has with the base game. So yeah. So that's been my review for the Teal Mask. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video.